Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Loon Live tonight. Matt here. We've got a couple of good patterns for you. One is going to be a saltwater pattern for you guys heading out, going saltwater fly fishing, doing various other fun activities. And the other one will be a very cool little stonefly pattern. I'm going to do some stuff. What's up? What's up? Trying to get this thing to focus in here. I'm going to restart the Loon Outdoors Instagram live stream here really quick just because. What's up, Curtis? Give me 1 second here. Let's see. Looks like it's starting to clear up a bit. Might have a little fuzz. Sorry, guys. A little fuzz on the old camera there. Anyway, so like I said, two different flies, two different complete applications. Wintertime, we have some guys going steelhead, swinging flies for fish, and other guys are going more tropical. So I think tonight what we'll do is we're going to start out tropical. And the hook that I'm rocking on this guy is the SL11. And we'll get you guys all squared up here so you guys can all see. Whoop. There we go. Perfect. Lock you guys in. Sometimes I forget. So like I said, SL11, it's 3H. It's a tin-plated 3X strong saltwater hook. It's got a nice little bit of a longer shank to it. As far as saltwater hooks go, it has a nice distance that we can work with there. Nice strong hook, typically. I crimped one super weird earlier in the day when I was playing around with some other flies and ended up breaking it a little bit on accident. But so it is in the Regal Revolution. This happens to be the shanked jaw. I've been taking it off since I got it. So we'll start out with a thread base. I go back and forth. It's kind of haphazard. It doesn't have to be 100% gorgeous. But, you know, end of the day, it's going to get the job done. So there's a few eyes that you can use. I like to use these yellow eyes. They're nice and muted. These are just dumbbell eyes, and these are the double pupil eyes. The double pupil eyes are kind of my jam. What's up, Daniel? No problem, brother. What's up from Chile, Cape Cod? I like it. Let me catch up. Make sure I didn't miss too much heckling here. Sorry. I have ADD, so it happens. All right. Some thumbs up. What's up, everybody? Hey, thanks for tuning in. Streamwalker Nets, what's up? Trout Hunter, what's up, brother? Okay, we're all caught up there. Mr. Yak and Mike, I like it. Okay, so I'm going to take these eyes, and I don't want a ton of that traditional saltwater look on this version. It's kind of my spin on a spawning shrimp. I fished something hyper similar recently in Hawaii, and if you want to be punished horrifically, go fish for Hawaiian bonefish, because they are fickle creatures. Okay. So I'm going to bring this just about mid-hook point, if you guys can see that there. Kind of lines up, and it's going to be mid-hook point. Next up, we are going to I have everything tonight, so you guys are going to be super, super extra proud of me. So I'm going to grab my Crystal Flash in black. This is KF15. And a cool trick that I do, just to protect my Crystal Flash. So what I do is I trim off a corner. You can see I've kind of already done it here. Then I just kind of stick the scissors in there and take out what I need when I need it. The rest of it never comes out of the package. It's kind of like a Willy Wonka's chocolate factory up there at Hairline Dubbing. Don't know how they get them in there so perfectly every time, but those ladies have some good tricks. There you go. Yeah, man, they're big too, like 7-8 pound bonefish. I forgot to let go of the line. Hooked one like 30 minutes in, and had a little issue with letting them run. Blew me up, blew me off, and then it was like trying to date supermodels the rest of the day. They didn't want to have anything to do with this middle-aged man. So I'm going to put in 2 strands on each side of this crystal flash, and I trim it to about 2.5 inches long. It's just something to be out there. If you don't like black, if you feel that's super harsh, you know, feel free to utilize kind of a different color, if you will. So next up, this may sound super weird. This is Top Flight dubbing, and this one's out of the sample, but it's like a cream color. It's a nice light, nice light translucent dubbing, especially when it gets wet. So what I do is I pull off just this little piece like this. We'll go ahead and set that in, and I'll just wrap over the top of it. So that makes just a little bit of like a little bit of a face, a taper to the front, and I'll take the tiniest smidge of dubbing after that, and I'm just going to create a really small dubbing bump. Yeah, that's a reality there. Those reefs are no joke. I walked the edge of it waiting for them to come up quite a bit. So the next little trick we're going to put in here is some eyeballs. And these I make with Loon thick. Some, you know, depending on how rigid you want them to be, you can adjust. And so this happens to be some 80 pound. I put a little lighter to the end of it, make a nice ball, dip it in some thick, hit it with the light as I gently rotate, and then coat it around with black Sharpie. So it makes these cool little eyes that like to look at you. So I'm just going to put these out here about 3/4 of an inch long for my eyeballs. We're going to need to trim this up just because it's going to be long. And I want this to lay down the side, so when you look at it, you don't see where I'm laying the mono because it's coming out the side of the fly. I'm going to go ahead and preemptively trim this guy too. Should have thought of all that stuff. Should have measured if I was good at this. But we're just going along here. So I just kind of hold this in place till I get it where I want it to be, and then we'll just gently rotate over with our thumb. There you go. And I don't mind really where it goes underneath there. Good thing to make note of is if you want it lighter, you can use a bead chain. You can make it heavier and use a tungsten eye. Depends. Cocktail shrimp dropper, absolutely. Taylor, we're tying a shrimp right now, and then we're going to tie a little stonefly. 3BT Media, what's up? What's up? Fly Life 775, how's it going? Yes, shrimp dropper off of the shrimp scampi. Yes, Jeremiah, 100%. And so I'm going to add 2 different colors of legs here. And these are kind of like grizzly legs, except for they're called buggy nymph legs, but they're just modeled like a grizzly leg. So if you use a grizzly leg in like a tan and like a brown, you're going to be good. New Mexico, what's up? And you know, the finer the leg, I feel like it has more activity and movement. You want that fish to, when it, you know, when a fish comes up, you know, be it carp, bass, whatever it is, and you're offering something that's crawling along the bottom, the more those legs are kind of wiggling and moving, in my opinion, that just means the more fish will look at it for longer. I believe it's scrimps. Yes, yes, UV resin is a good shrimp sauce. Absolutely. So what I do is I just take a few wraps here, and I'm just gonna, I like to leave these kind of underneath, just a little bit. We'll just make sure they're really secured down, and then we'll go ahead and create a dubbing loop. I like to do this in a dubbing loop. It's just a personal thing. It's just kind of how I operate. So I'm going to be using Ergo dubbing spinner. Tie on the fly from the 530. What up? The dirty 530. I like it. And what I'm going to use here is, yeah, the sample that I stole from a fly shop, because that's just how I operate. In cream and some UV ice dub tan. Flavored UV resins. You're just hearing about this? Yeah, UV smelly jelly. It cures and smells like shrimp. I thought you guys in Oregon, that's what you put on all of your flies there, Maya. So when this stuff comes out, I mean, it comes out in this perfect, like, we're going to do a dubbing loop with it, length. It's nice and tapered. You can see it sticks together pretty well. Like, doesn't escape. Ice dubbing, on the other hand, is going to require just a little bit more work to get it done and ready. UV smelly jelly. Jiminy Christmas, Maya. When Jeremiah guides on the Deschutes, when he's fishing his beads, he likes to insert, you know, glow bug yarn in there and saturate overnight. It's how he catches his fish. So what I'll do is, I'm just going to spread this dubbing out, and you can see I have a nice long little section of it. And what I'll do is I'll start pulling these two together. Nature Boy, what's up, brother? How's it going, man? So what I'm doing right now, this is kind of the handy way to do it. You can do this in a coffee grinder. I don't think you guys would appreciate that here. But what I'll do is I'll spread this all out, and I just kind of pick it up with the D-loop tweezer. What am I? So once we have everything kind of dialed in our D-loop tweezer, I'm going to go ahead and just manipulate these materials. And you can start, and then you can come in here while you have good tension. I like to just, the Loon dubbing spinner is pretty heavy duty. And so I'll take something like my 4-inch razor scissors, and I'm just going to go ahead and trim the back. So I get like this kind of corded material. Whoops, I don't want to pull that all the way out, but that's alright. We got a good amount here. Fly Fiend, what's up, brother? How's it going? So we'll do a few spins to start tightening. And on thicker brushes, I'll start with that. But since we're just doing dubbing, I did have this. Like I said, I'm fully prepared tonight. This is a first. I'm going to go ahead and take my dubbing brush and really work through this, just trying to free up as much material as possible. So what you're left with is just this really cool, you know, dubbing loop. and I just want to just slowly brush all of the fibers to our left or away from the eye of the hook. In case you're like Greg Senyo and randomly a left-handed tire, you may do things differently, because your hook point would be on the opposite edge. So you can see, you can kind of gauge the thickness of your brush based on where you cut and how you position those materials. So you can do a little figure 8 here on the back, and I'll just go ahead and secure right now around the eye before we create our, like, kind of our thread dam. Oh, hey, buddy. This is a saltwater fly. It's kind of my spin on a Peterson's spawning shrimp. How you doing, Mr. Nick Davis? I'm tying a saltwater fly, Nick. I figured that's the only reason you tuned in. Just kidding. So from here, because it is such a light pattern, I don't really see a ton of the thread, even though I used a white thread. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of coat this to build some strength with flow. So that's going to act as my head cement, and I'll give it a... Oh, man flu. Oh man, send beer. So I'm going to use that as a head cement and a strengthening agent. I'm going to do the same thing underneath. Your wife must be a saint if she's dealing with the vanilla gorilla with a man flu. Poor woman. Hey Howard, how's it going? So we'll just give that a pretty solid cure there. No big deal. What's kind of cool too is whatever's left in your dubbing brush, typically, you know, you can realign that. The stuff you've trimmed off will work again. You know, you can use this leftover material to create your front dubbing bumps, whatever you want. If you're a thrifty son of a gun, and you know that happens. So we'll just primp this guy up, and I'm just going to shorten up our little leg segments here just a little bit. Am I tying these for Hawaii? Mad Flyco, what's up? Saltwater, yes, yes, yes. Although, with all honesty, if you... I wish I was going back to Hawaii, by the way, yeah. What are the materials like the dubbing? It is Top Flight and Ice Dub. Yeah, so the cool thing is if you wanted to tie this for freshwater, and let's say you pick some brown tones and some brown reds, stuff like that, probably get eats. You know, you'd probably get a lot of eats regardless, just because it would look also a lot like a juvenile crawdad. That would... you know, it's something that would work out as well. So you could, you know, manipulate this via different colorways and move that over to a freshwater application as well. I've not fished in Patagonia, but I fish in Patagonia waders. I don't know. Maybe that's a different. Maybe we're talking different stuff. That's all right. Never mind. So yeah, that's just a little shrimp fly there. You can see it's just a nice, simple flats pattern for bonefish, whatever you want to throw it at. I do need to come. I was there this summer. You didn't even take me fishing. You didn't even say goodbye. I've been meaning to talk to you about that. So the next one is a little fly that I call the swing stone. Uh, yeah, the free material bag. Okay, you know, if you get that little sample bag of dubbing and you check it out and it's like, man, this stuff's great. They've got you hooked, man. They figured you out. So, before I get too far here, like I said, my ADD takes over, I'll explain what we have. So this is the hook that I am tying on. It is a Firehole 718. And this one's a size 10, so I'll tie this anywhere in this golden stone color from a, you know, like an 8 to 14, 16, because golden stones do start really small and then grow big. So it works all throughout that size range. No worries, Nick. When are we going fishing? Good question. I would like to go fishing. I've been too much working lately. Not enough fishing. I went golfing the other day. It was good. My 71-year-old father kicked my butt at golf. It's definitely, we'll have to turn the tables next time we're together. I'll take him fly fishing and kick his butt there. So, this is some yellow Super Floss, Life Flex, Sexy Floss, insert manufacturer's special name, but it's the stretchy stuff that doesn't rot in your fly box. So, yeah, that's a thing, Nick. That is a thing. I still have that gorilla in the fly tying office. So, we start out, we put in a nice little tail segment, and I'm going to use these buyouts here. And apparently, oh, I thought my computer screen shut off, and I thought the tunes were going away with it. I appreciate it, Mad Flyco. I'll let you talk to my wife about that since I've been gone, and we'll see how far you get. So we're going to tie this little buyout in here, tip first. Man, oh man, oh man, I blew it. And grab my hackle pliers. That's alright. We'll just suffer through my meat hooks for hands, and we'll make it work. So this is a really thin-bodied nymph that I tie. I apologize for being so fat-fingered on this, but it's just what God gave me. And usually I have like a little snifty hackle plier that I designed that helps me not to look like, you know, gorilla finger guy. Barred goose buyout. No, this is turkey buyouts. These are just wild ones that I dyed up in a yummy sunburst yellow. If you guys have never got deep into the world of nerd fly tying material dyeing, I strongly recommend it. It's a great way to have to buy your wife or significant other a new stove. You know, awkwardly have hot pink hands at the grocery store and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and take this and we'll coat with Flow. Yeah, going to work the next day and you've got like one hand that's hot pink from dyeing steelhead materials and the other one's like purple. Everybody has an opinion. Am I still in SoCal? No. I rallied home back to the northern part. I use all sorts of different materials. I've used RIT for dyeing. I've used really cool women's hair dye. Jacquard acid dyes, vineyards, you name it, I have probably dyed with it. I now dye outside in the corner where my wife does not look in my backyard with a little camp stove. So it works out. So this is some Ice Dub ICE 40 and it is UV brown. It's a very nice brown looking ice dub. Right on, brother. You kidnapped me. Profile picture. Let's see. Catch up. Rick, hello, hello. Okay. So this will seem counterintuitive, but believe me, at the end it works out. So we take the same material that we used for our tail, and we're going to create this cool little, some little legs in here. And they're going to get pushed backwards. Did I get a Cali burrito? I get a Cali burrito at least twice a week. But I got a Southern California Cali burrito. In fact, I think I sampled half of a Mexican restaurant's specialties or menu offerings. So it was well worth it. Some carne asada, some flautas, enchiladas, tortas. I mean, you name it. Any chance I got, I just eat Mexican food when I'm in Southern California. Basically based my whole trip around the Mexican food. So I'm going to create a nice, large dubbing bump here. And these legs will get ultimately pushed back into a more level position. These are actually some pretty simplistic flies. Got to start stacking the odds so that I get like some way tougher stuff to tie, and then like, you know, like a gimme, like, oh, now we're going to tie a midge. So I like to have two going back and two coming out pretty much, you know, that way. And I really use the dubbing to manipulate it. That way, as they kick, they're going to be constantly getting hit by microcurrents. We're going to trim them up, but you get the idea. Yeah, man, that's I grew up in San Diego, and that is definitely my staple food. So I understand where you're coming from. Tips for dubbing. That's a great question. Not to be too boring. So if you can look and see my fingers, when I press the color out of my nail beds, that's the amount of pressure that I'm typically putting on dubbing to get it to stick. And let's see, what else would be a great tip? Only dub in one direction, meaning rotate, like pick and squeeze your fingers or drag your fingers across each other in only one direction. I've seen lots of stuff done differently over my time in the fly tying community. This is called just the swinger stone or the swing stone, or secretly I call it the SS amongst the top secret homing crew, which is like two guys, so really nobody knows about it. But this fly is absolutely a gem on rivers like the Rogue, the Trinity. I'd probably crush it on the Deschutes. And, you know, other places where, you know, steelhead and large trout tend to hang out. So my typical rod that I'm throwing this on is either a 6-weight one-hand Spey, or like a 4-weight trout Spey rod. This is going to be disastrous, but I bet it'll work. Nope, it's going to be disastrous. Not really, but... Oh, sorry. I just had this like stroke of genius that thing would be like the coolest hackle tweezer that I never thought of, and stick to a hackle plier. That's why I made a hackle plier, I guess. I forgot that the bobbin was going to be in your way while you were doing all that stuff. So once we have this guy in here nice and tight, Is it online? You mean this will be online? Yeah, I shot a video for it, and it should be up on the old YouTubes here. It'll also be on live stream and Loon's website eventually. It does take a while to get content edited and uploaded, but we try to do our best. So nice. So we'll go ahead and whip finish here. And you can see that hackle kind of pushes, I'm sorry, I apologize, strike that. The legs kind of push through our hackle. And yeah, man, this would definitely crush on the old Truckee, I am sure. So we just do a simple pull and evening there. So if you don't swing this, I mean, that's fine. It also is a pretty stellar nymph as well. If you wanted to fish it like a nymph all the time, I'd throw some extra antennas on it. It's just me. But I'm going to go ahead and use some flow, and I just let that soak into that collar, and because ice dub is so translucent, it'll allow it to penetrate and cure. The one major thing that this has, like, you know, I love a lot of flies, but anything with a soft hackle for me adds this suggestiveness, and and also things with rubber legs seem to do really well. So I tried to combine the two, and that's kind of kind of my brain. I'll take 5. That will be $87.50, sir, and that's actually only for 4. So yeah, that's just my little swing stone, and so I tie this in like a whole bunch of variable colors. We're gonna zoom out. Zoomed out. So I tie this in olives and blacks, you know, like a brown. You could tie it in any color that you really want at this point. But those 4, and yellow, obviously, like we did tonight. But those 4 colors really do make up my main colorways for this fly. And if you really dislike yourself and want to torture yourself, you can try tying it in like a 16 or 18. It does get very wee and small and hard to tie, but winter stones and stuff like that, it's going to be really, it could be a great pattern for that. Why the UV light instead of hard as nails? There was mostly because I'm ADD, and it cures in 5 seconds and my flies are fishable. And it also doesn't smell like a nail salon. Is mostly what I'm going for there. I don't actually use hard as nails for anything anymore. I just use the fly finish and flow, and the UV light does a great job for me. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much everything that we have going tonight. I appreciate you tuning in. Sorry it's a little bit of a shorter one. The next one, I don't know what we're going to do. It's like right before Christmas. I'm going to be traveling. I may be at a shop in Southern California again, because I travel a lot. Maybe it'll be like a surprise, like the night before Thanksgiving. We don't know. But anyways, I appreciate you guys all tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. And have a great weekend.